Hey guys, welcome. I cannot even believe that this is the last carrot call, and I made it. It's crazy, but I don't know. You just never know when babies are going to come. So it's our last carrot call, and I have mixed emotions. This has been fantastic. I really hope I'll send an email to you guys, getting your feedback. I would love feedback, but for me, it's just I've loved every call. I've loved it. So for today, let's get present. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, again. I remember that. Like my mentor in 2012, I was like, oh, again. You know, he's going to say the same stuff, but it's so true. We're so different today on this day than we were last Tuesday, than we were before that. And it's a different time, different space, different you. See it as your first time, and I love changing it up. So I'm going to show you a couple tools today. So one of them is going to be I'll use it to get us present. And I first learned it from Marcy Shimoff. She has a book called Loving for No Reason. I'm pretty sure that's the name. And it's called Heart Breathing. And I add my twist to it. And it's a way to get present. So you can put your hand over your heart if you want. If that helps you to focus on your heart space, but if not, you can just get comfortable. So here we go, guys. Let's get comfortable. Just start breathing in our nose. Maybe just take a big cleansing breath here. Put your shoulders up and let it go. Let's do that again. And as you get comfortable, and just let your breath just kind of regulate. Do it in a way that feels good to you. I want you to personify your heart, to see your heart having a nose and a mouth of its own. Your heart being able to breathe in and breathe out. And this is where, if it helps, you can touch your chest, you can touch your heart space, put your hands over your heart, or just focus on that place. This is called heart breathing. When you focus on your heart, and your heart breathe in and out, and you don't have to match my breathing, just have it be in a way that feels good to you. It brings you centered into yourself. It brings you here in this present moment. And the addition that I like to do is, what do you need in this moment that could be dropped down from heaven and you could breathe into your heart? So if there was a golden ray of sunshine from your Creator that just could beam down and float around you, and your heart could breathe it in, what would it be? What would it bring to you? Would it be peace? Would it be rejuvenation? Would it be clarity? Would it be power? Would it be self-acceptance and love? Would it be energy? Or I like to just say, even if I don't know, heaven knows what's best. So I trust that whatever I need is being given to me at this time, and just breathe it into your heart. In and out of your heart, and then letting it radiate and pulsate through your whole body from your head to your toes. So take a couple of deep breaths here in your heart and open your eyes when you're ready. So that heart breathing can be really a tool you can use at any time. When you need more patience with children, when you need more energy, if you don't have the time to nap. I'm always like, don't do energy work to up your stamina and energy when really you need self-care and a nap. But if you can't and you just want to feel invigorated, breathe that in. Breathe that into your heart and let it pulsate from your head to your toes. Really, this heart breathing is something that centers you. It can ground you. It can bring you here in the present moment. And really, anything you need, you can put around you and breathe that through your heart. So for me, that's exactly what I needed to kind of settle me down. You know, I was a little frazzled today, just packing and doing different things. And hopefully that helped you as well. So today, before I tell you what we will work on, I just wanted to do a little review. And it was fun to look back at our calls and just see the nuggets out of them. You know, this program really came from my life and all of the lies and the seeds and the limiting beliefs that I was blessed to have eyes to see and the awareness of throughout my personal journey. You know, when does that ever start? Well, it never really has a beginning, but really a huge awakening happened in about 2011. And, you know, I just feel really blessed. At the same time, it's crappy to see all our stuff, right? We all have stuff. But being able to see it is that first step to change. And so it's something to celebrate. I realized how much stress was in my life. I realized how fear of failure would paralyze me. I realized that I thought all the answers were outside of me. I had low self-esteem, didn't have any confidence. You know, all of these things are those negative impacts of the carrot out in front. So our first carrot call, we learned about the tool getting present and what that means to get present in our life, and then letting gold in, letting the light in from your source and creator. And then we did a meditation to open and receive all the good in our life and all of the good out of this program, that we're worth it, that we can raise that container, make that container bigger, raise our capacity to receive. The lie we talked about is the carrot got you used to looking ahead or behind you, and you miss the present moment, and you're a shell in your current life. And really, there's no color to your life because you're not there. The second call, we learned the tool of the empath releaser, where we had that magnet in the bubble out in front of us. And we, at any time, can use that to just pull out anybody's energy that's in our space and give it back to them. And that really can be used, that tool can be used for so many things. It can pull out stress. It can pull out physical tension. It can pull out worry, doubt, stress. And then you can fill in with the light, with faith, hope, and trust. There's so many fun ways to do that, but basically that was the magnet in the bubble technique. That lie we talked about is we've learned that after time and time again we couldn't get that carrot, we learned to be really, really self-critical to ourselves. So the experiential gift was we went back and saw our little girl and thought, hey, what does she need to hear more of? And are we speaking to ourselves that way? Do we speak to ourselves like we would a best friend? Our third call, we did some tapping basics. And hopefully tapping is now, you know, a mysterious thing that is no longer mysterious, something that you can just tap and vent. You can just tap and cry. You can just tap and feel a feeling in your body. There's really no wrong way to do it. The lie we talked about there was we learned with this carrot that our worth, we think it would go up if we got the carrot, and we perceive that it goes down because we haven't gotten it. But I had this beautiful necklace of my daughter's that's a diamond, and we learned that no matter what, we're tired, we're cranky, we win a Nobel Peace Prize, we don't, you know, whatever, the ups and downs of life, we have this straight line diamond that is our worth. Doesn't go up, doesn't go down, just that straight line. And the experiential gift was that image shifter, where, you know, we have this image of ourself that is constructed And we put on our glasses by the experiences we have in our life, where that is not truth. That is just our worldly experiences in an unperfect world. And the truth is coming straight from heaven. That is our true image. That is who we truly are. So we change from our goggles of earthly perception to a heaven perception of ourselves. And the fourth call, the tool, we learned about grounding to Mother Earth. Mother Earth is just here to support us. We can learn so much from trees, that they know they belong. They don't try to be anybody else. And they're rooted in the here and now present moment. And there's no rush going on there. You know, I mean, of course we have days where we have to rush and get things done, but it's not that habitual rushing because I'm not enough. And so I love that. So we learned about grounding to the earth. We have a connection from our tailbone as wide as our hips all the way down the center of the earth. We can hook in, and that has a suction quality that we can ground off things, and then Mother Earth's energy can come fill us up. So how can you use that tool? Whew, you can ground off frustration at children or a circumstance. You can ground off fear. You can ground off, you know, whatever is ready to go, and then fill in with light, or you can fill in with the earth's energy. The carrot lie on that fourth call was everyone has their carrot but me. So we talked about, you know, seeing others as better than us, or our perceptive, perfect self, like maybe that's who we're comparing ourselves to, you know, whether it be people or this measuring stick for ourselves we can never measure up to, like the carrot. We have something out there that we compare ourselves to that we always fall short with, and that we are less than. And so we did a meditation to have everyone be equal and have us be connected. The light I see in you is just a reflection of the light I see in myself. And, you know, as far as comparing ourselves to that perfect yardstick of ourself, that's awesome to strive. That's perfect. But we have to see where it's the carrot and it's not an attainable thing. And that leads to the fifth call that we really talked about, creating completions. So if we have that yardstick that we'll never measure up to, that perfect image of ourselves, then we have to get our eye off the carrot and down on the ground, looking at our steps we've taken and that we're going to take, and get our eyes down there, really validating our journey. Because you can take 20,000 steps with that carrot out in front of you, and you'll never get it, first of all, and feel crappy about that. But then you won't see those 20,000 steps that you did take. So celebrating every step is definitely a way to combat that. The tool last Tuesday, so our fifth call, was about gratitude lists. You know, 10 things I love about my life. 10, and it can be 5 to 10, you know, whatever. Just get so creative with it. Like 5 to 10 parts of my body that work automatically for me every day and help me stay alive without me having to do a thing. You know, I'm so grateful for that. 10 beautiful things in the earth that I appreciate today. You know, whatever it is, the vibration of gratitude is just such an amazing tool. And again, it's not to mask other feelings. It's not to mask other feelings. But sometimes we do need a kick in the pants, and we say, I'm going to choose gratitude. And you start writing your lists and you feel a shift. If you don't feel a shift, then that's probably a time to vent and tap, because something's deeper that needs to be felt. That lie that we talked about was, you know, you got used to be stressed all the time. There's always more to do. And we never realize how far we've come because we haven't gone there, quote, there. So that's where it's like, okay, we need to validate every step along the way. We need to see that our destination is our journey and who we become in that journey. So many times we want to fast forward and get to the carrot, or fast forward and have your baby. And you don't celebrate every pre-labor contraction before. Oh man, I told you guys you'd know a lot about me during this. But that really hit me, like, we are tested on the things we teach. And so I was talking to Nate, my husband, and I was like, oh, I have had my eye on the carrot of having this baby, and that's fantastic, but I haven't been seeing the journey, because that's my destination. Yes, the baby will come, but celebrating every contraction before, everything that we do to get ready, that truly is the journey, and who I am becoming, and having my rough cornered edges of wanting to control things, and my other rough cornered edge of wanting to control things. That's the big thing right now. It's just getting polished, and it's who we become along the way. And then we talked just a lot about that. Create that container for yourself for completions. And for me, a lot of it has to be time restraint. I can do this task for an hour, and if it has to get done, then I have to do it in an hour, because the perfectionist in me will take too long. So if my enoughness container is get this task done, it could still last all day, or I might not even get done. So it might be 20 minutes of this, and that's enough for my brain. Like, tell your brain 20 minutes will be enough. And then tomorrow I will look at my list and see what I need to do. So that, again, it starts reprogramming our brain instead of the never ending, never enough. I've never done enough. I won't ever do enough, because the carrot's always there. It's reprogramming to bring that sense of completion, because we never feel, a sense of completion or satisfaction or fulfillment when we're just chasing the carrot. So for today, the tool that I want to talk about, this is a pretty significant truth that I learned from many, many thought leaders. And it's crazy how I've seen it in psychology books, psychiatrist books, life coaching, energy coaching, like all across the board, I've seen this. And it's the nature. So this tool is more like a mind shift, and something I want you just to take and know. Emotions are to be felt. Now that sounds super simple. Let me say it again. Emotions are to be felt. We live in a world that calls certain emotions good, certain bad, that say, we treat children in a way sometimes that would let them know it's not okay to cry. It's not okay to feel certain ways. It's not okay to feel angry. It's not okay to ... where really children are just feeling these emotions and they're doing what we're supposed to do, but they haven't been taught how to process them or how to handle them in a healthy way, or demonstrate them in a healthy way. I remember absolutely cringing when I first heard this, and a lady said, yeah, I go and I buy a dozen eggs and I go and just chuck them against the mountain, and I get really mad and I get my anger out. And I was like, you're not supposed to do that. Or going and hitting a pillow or something. I was like, you're not supposed to do that. But in essence, feelings are to be felt. They're not to be thrown at other people. Anger is not to be expressed by yelling at someone or doing whatever, but it sure can be yelling while you're tapping by yourself in your room, or hitting a pillow, screaming into it. And emotions are energy in motion. So when we stuff them down, that's when emotions get trapped, and that causes huge problems, physical problems and emotional problems in our body. Let me see if I can remember this quote. Emotions that do not get expressed through tears cause other organs to weep. Emotions that do not get expressed through tears or whatever, emotions, and maybe it's sadness specifically, but cause other organs to weep. Where emotions are to be felt, and I can't even tell you how often I push away emotions. I can't even tell you. So an example, if I'm snappy at my kids, if someone were to look at me, like hold my cheeks and face into their hands, and just someone I trust and love, and they look at me and they say, Alicia, what's really underneath? What's really going on? There would be this whole, like, the tip of the iceberg at the top was I'm nipping at my kids, and then all below it would be stress about packing. I haven't had my baby yet. I get frazzled when I don't know what to pack where, and should I keep it or should I not? And oh, can I really get all of our swim stuff in one box, or do I need it? Like, that would be underneath. Those are all the feelings that I was pushing away. And it's not bad, and it's just something that the more we tune into how we feel and our emotions, you know, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just our emotional intelligence goes up. We see what's really going on, and we see what help we really need. Does that make sense? I hope so. Like, stress for me really has so many underlying currents, or the iceberg underneath. So a lot of the times, if I'm angry, short with people, feeling super stressed, I have to just stop when I remember to, right? Because this is a journey and no one's perfect. And it's just like, what is really going on? What are the emotions that are wanting to come up and be heard? So I really like the thought of our emotions being a little child that needs to be listened to and validated and hugged. So if you listen to a child, validate how they're feeling, and hug them, normally they just go off skipping and play. That's how emotions are. Emotions that are felt can be released, and we get the message from them. Emotions that we listen to, validate, get the message, understand what's going on, they release. Emotions that are judged, criticized, pushed down, judged as wrong, I shouldn't be feeling that way. And a lot of this is done subconsciously, but those emotions get trapped in our heart, our mind, our bodies, our muscles. I mean, that's why tapping, there's a whole book about tapping for physical pain. Physical pain is never tapping about physical pain. It's about the emotions that are in our body. Like, it's crazy. But emotions are like little children. The more we judge, criticize, all of those things, it doesn't help them to feel heard, validated, and loved, so they can release. So that tool is something I just want you to think about. You know, how often do you push away an emotion? Or how often do we really need to cry when crying is so taboo in our culture? And people apologize all the time. I'm so sorry, I'm crying. You know, and this is something I've really, really had to learn about, because my sensitive nature was really, I couldn't handle other people's emotions because I would feel it so strongly. So I learned to just kind of like run away from emotion, because it was really hard for me, because I would just feel what they were feeling so empathetically that it just like took me down. And so that's where I've tried to really bolster myself up so I can help other people and I don't take on their stuff for them. But, oh dear, pray, what was I even saying? So, I don't know. But that is something that's weird when things just leave like that. Well, whatever happens, happens. So emotions are to be felt. Oh yeah. Yep. We learn to shun away from crying, shun away from whatever emotions people are feeling. And so we also get that message to ourselves that it's not okay to feel that way. It's not okay to cry, whatever. I mean, like earlier, I just have such a sweet example in my life. My husband, Nate, just kind of hugged me today, and I was just going to get packed. And I was like, let's do this. And he just like hugged me. He's like, what's really going on? And I just start crying. I was like, I don't know what to keep. I don't know what to throw away. I'm worried about taking up too much space in the U-Haul. And and I don't know about my boxes. And I just like went off. And then guess what? That emotion was felt, heard, and validated. And then I was on my little busy way of packing, and I felt so much better. And that's something that we can do for the people we love and do for ourselves. Really, what's underneath? Serious, as a mom, next time you're snappy with your kids, what's underneath? And most of the time, it's something you're stressed about that's not even child related, like you have a talk in church coming up, or you have this or that, or it's a fear. Children are amazing at bringing up all of our fears, and we project into their future. If they act this way now, then they're never going to get a job when they're older, you know, whatever. And fears come up. That's why parenting is like God's tool of healing, if we're open to see it. Every wound we have, triggering every wound we have, because our children are perfect trigger bringer-uppers. And that's a gift to us. It's hard. It's really hard. That's why it's the hardest job. But it is a gift. It is a gift. So today, I wanted to talk more about, and this is how we'll end. It's a third tool. And this is something where I don't think we'll take the time today, but please, you're worth it. Take the time on your own. But I'm going to explain it to you. So there's something called Ho'oponopono, and I'm not much for caring about details. I know it comes from Hawaiian culture or Polynesian culture, and it's about the vibration of words. And they are, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And something about those words helps us to release. So sometimes I put my hand on my heart, and I just say, sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. This past weekend I've been thinking about it. You know, this last carrot call, I was thinking of all of the ways we judge, criticize, put down ourselves. And, you know, we talked about, last week we talked about the pressure valve and releasing the pressure. And so I realized how much pressure I was putting on my body, that I wanted to go into labor, I should be in labor, or whatever. So I did the pressure valve, and I tapped while saying, body, I am so sorry that I put all this pressure on you. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Body, I am so sorry that I put all this pressure on you, that making you wrong, that you haven't gone into labor. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And those words, they're just the vibration, the essence of forgiveness, love, self-acceptance, and peace. So the exercise you can do, you get your paper, and you start writing all of the ways that you have judged yourself. All of the things that if someone were to, you would really trust, that you could really tell them like what you truly think about yourself. And if your potential, your bad traits, anything, you just start writing the list. So like, number one, something like, I have to be perfect to be loved, or I don't like my body, or I think I'm fat, or I never think I can exercise, or I fail. I never start and finish things. I never finish things, or, you know, whatever it is. It would just be like, have a little prayer to set the intention that whatever needs to come out in the paper will. And you just start writing your list. All the ways you judge yourself, negative things you think about yourself, the stress in your body, you know, whatever it is. And then you go down each one and you read it and you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Cross it off. Go to the next one. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Cross it off. And you can do that for your list of 10, 20, you know, whatever you have time for. And then you can have fun and either burn the paper or rip it up or do it in little pieces, but really that is symbolic, and you do it symbolically as poof, letting go of so much of the energy of should, and the energy of criticism, and the energy of judgment. And you fill it in with, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. So that's something we can use for ourselves. That's something we can use towards another person, that we just, again, if it bounces, like if you're like, okay, somebody perpetrated me when I was younger and I'm going to do this to them. Well, I'm pretty sure it might not land with you because there's some emotions that need to be heard and felt and validated. Maybe some tapping and healing that needs to be done first. But when it's time and you're ready, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And it's an amazing tool, something you could use with your children at night while you hug them. You don't have to say it out loud, but any of your shortcomings, you could just hold them tight. Sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Because we are going to fall up short. And in those relationships that matter most to us, those are the hardest times to fall up short, the easiest times to judge ourselves and to criticize ourselves. But that love, forgiveness, and peace is really what will create a change in us. So that's the experience that I really would like you to find the time to do. I knew we wouldn't have time today, but if you just write all of the ways that you judge yourself, you know what, let's do 5 right now. If you have paper and pen right by you, let's just do 5. And it can be anything. Beliefs about yourselves, stress, I can't, ... Okay, so just with how many ever you have done, I want you to read your first one. And say it with me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Cross it off. Read the second one. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Cross it off. Third one. Read it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Cross it off. Fourth one. Read it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Make sure to breathe through that. Remember our first call we talked about, we can give ourselves that calming signal when we take deep breaths, because you can't take deep breaths while you're running from a tiger. So this must not be a tiger then. So you can take deep breaths. Read that fifth one. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Cross it off. All right. Then you can decide what to do with this little. For now, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm moving. So for now, I live in the sticks and I can burn it. So you can rip it up, go to your burn barrel if you live in the middle of nowhere. For a little bit longer, we'll be able to do that. I think my son will really miss that part, but he's excited about the other perks though. But yeah, rip that up and it's just a release. Could those things come back up in your life again? You betcha, because life is about layers and it's okay. But do you feel lighter? Can you feel that shift? That's something you can do all the time. Write down your children's name. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. Don't cross it off though. But just anything that can be used for. And it's a perfect, perfect, perfect tool and experience to give yourself. So how I wanted to end. All right. I want you guys just to picture as if your brain were to open right now. Be very open and receptive to my words. And these words are going to be beautiful, golden, bright, vibrant, and are just going to go soak and massage into your brain and integrate in. So these words are, what if life was meant to be enjoyed without achieving X or without getting over there? What if bumps, twists, and turns were all part of the plan and weren't to try to be avoided? What if failure wasn't something to be scared of, but a known part of the life process, like it's built right into the pavement? What if you knew that you were enough, just the way you are, and that your worth never changes, just like a diamond? When you let these truths soak in, how do you feel about yourself? How do you treat yourself along this journey that is our destination? How do you view your potential and your self-image? You are right where you need to be. You are gorgeous and capable. And it's normal to have emotions go up and down all through life. There's nothing wrong with you. God is here to love and support you no matter what. You are worth it. You are doing way better than you think. There is everything right with you. You are on this earth for a reason. You are right where you are for a reason. And you are the best person to be right where you are for that reason. The only way for this earth to get your flavor and your name of crayon is for you to shine and bring it. No one else has your flavor. And you find it completely unnecessary to compare anymore, because you know that's not even possible, because no one has your life experiences. No one is you. You are special and loved and accepted no matter what. And you were born knowing that. You may have forgotten it, but that is the eternal truth. You are enough. You can be broken and be enough. You can have a dirty house and be enough. You can forget that you're enough and be enough. You have diamonds in every cell. Your worth is a constant and it never changes. And you are loved and life needs you. So I want you just to breathe for a second. Let's just start tapping on our eyebrow point. Just take a deep breath here. Tap on the side of the eye, right on the bone. Under the eye. Maybe I could give myself a break. Under the nose, repeat after me. Maybe I am doing better than I think. Under the lip. I'm sorry. Collarbone. Please forgive me. Under the arm. I love you. Top of the head. Thank you. Eyebrow. For how I've treated myself. Side of the eye. that was less than kind. Under the eye, all the pressure I've put on myself. Under the nose, and may continue to put on myself. Under the lip, for all the times I thought I wasn't worth it. Collarbone, for all the harshness directed to myself. Under the arm, for all the emotions I stuffed down. Top of the head, for all the times I thought I wasn't good enough. Eyebrow, I'm sorry. Side of the eye, self, I'm sorry. Under the eye, please forgive me. Under the nose, please forgive me. Under the lip, the chin, I love you. Collarbone, I love you. Under the arm, thank you. Top of the head, thank you. Thank you for this new chance. Take a deep breath here. Okay, guys, thank you so much. This has been a journey, and it's something that I hope, if nothing else, know that your destination is your journey, and validate each and every step, and that your worth never changes. I love you guys. I'm going to end the recording now and talk to those who are live. So, hope you enjoyed that. I can't wait to hear your feedback, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.